is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Black. We are San Diego.
Oh my, what a game. The Padres bats have come alive. A 12-1 shellacking of the St. Louis Cardinals last night. And since the All-Star game, 59 runs in 12 games for the Padres. What a turnabout. That leads the National League. As we welcome you to beautiful Petco Park afternoon baseball, the Padres have already won the series, going for a rare sweep against the St. Louis Cardinals this afternoon. And hello, everyone, and welcome aboard with Mark Sweeney sitting in for Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. We're pleased that you're with us. Of course, the big news today, the trades, and we'll keep you up to date on that. Krista Norvia has been traded to Seattle. Details during the course of our telecast. But let's go to pitching. That has been outstanding, especially the youngsters, and we're going to see O.D. Despaigne today.
It's so great to talk about the pitchers because they have been very consistent, limiting less runs. But if you look at Despaigne and his body of work, this young man throws a lot of varied release points. He also has varied velocity in his pitches. Gives the hitters a lot of problems because it's hard to sit on a particular act, and he changes from at bat to at bat. He's been very good, and I love the way he handles the pressure side of the pitching.
Well, the last time he was on the Petco Park mound was on a day game on a Sunday against the Mets, and he came 4 outs away from pitching a no-hitter. That maybe he can call upon that stuff today.
I think he was outstanding against the Mets, and unfortunately the results at the end didn't look the way he presented himself, but he was dominant in that start, and he's been very good since he's been in a Padre uniform.
Well, the Jed Jerko that hit 23 home runs last year as a rookie, showing signs of going back to that form, counting yesterday and since he came back from the DL.
Well, coming off the DL, he's 6 for 11, and that's consistency. And I think that moving forward is Jed Jerko's deal. He has to go day by day. 4 RBIs last night, and you saw the big moments, and that's what Jed Jerko is, the guy we saw last year. This year, the numbers aren't there, but he is consistently good off the disabled list this time.
You know, all of the returns by the Padre hitters. Now you've got Will Venable hitting 8th, and he has a 3-run home run last night. It's nice when you're getting that production deep in the order.
Yeah, and the offense definitely has to pick up, and you're going to see that in the second half. But last night, what a great sight to see, scoring a lot of runs, and they are doing their jobs.
All right, when we return to Petco Park, more on the man from Morgantown with Chris Button. Jed Jerko is back. Baseball coming up.
here in San Diego. We got day baseball, Game 3 between the Padres and the Cardinals coming up. And what a welcome back for Jed Jerko this series. 5 for 8, a home run, 5 RBIs. We saw him jack that one last night. And he talks about feeling good. His swing feels like it did last year. Talked to Buddy about it. He says it's all in the timing.
His bat through the zone is on time with the pitch getting into the hitting area. And that's the thing that I've seen in most of his swings since he's come back. So when that lines up, you got a chance to get a hit. And I think that's what's happened with Jed. But as far as the setup, the bat speed, how his swing is working, it looks similar. But he's on time.
And that is your Geico quote of the game. Of course, today is the trade deadline, about 24 minutes left. And here's what the Padres have already done today. They will send Chris Denorfia to Seattle for outfielder Abraham Almonte and right-handed pitcher Steven Colsheen. So we will keep you updated on any more trades. But it's time for baseball. Odrisamer Despaigne. Last time at Petco, 7 2/3 innings, no hitters. Well, we see some of the same today. First pitch is coming up.
He's been fun to watch.
Got it!
Despaigne can throw strikes from every angle on the left.
That's in there. Strike 3.
And Despaigne gets him swinging.
Despaigne. A 27-year-old from Havana, Cuba, Odrisamer Despaigne, getting his 7th start today. 2-2 with a brilliant ERA of 1.66. Opposing hitters batting just over 200 against his many different slants and sides and speeds. And he will go against this St. Louis Cardinal lineup set by Mike Matheny today on a beautiful afternoon. Baseball, daytime baseball at Petco Park. 77 degrees. The humidity is considerably down from yesterday and last night. Nice breeze out of the northwest as per usual. Umpiring crew has Brian Gorman. Crew chief behind the plate, Jim Wolf, Tony Randazzo, and David Rackley on the bases. Just a footnote on David Rackley last night. We didn't comment on it, but he really had a good game calling balls and strikes.
This crew has been excellent the last 2 nights. Obviously, the Padres starters have a lot to do with that.
So the Padres take the field, trying to come up with a 3-game sweep over these Cardinals. St. Louis 2.5 games out of first place in the Central, trailing Milwaukee for Mike Matheny. The National League defending champions will hit in this order, with Matt Carpenter leading it off, then Colton Wong. Much the same lineup as last night. Matt Holliday third, Matt Adams hitting .315. Third best in the National League is the cleanup man, Johnny Peralta at shortstop. A.J. Przenski gets the start behind the plate. Oscar Taveras, their highly touted rookie in right field. Peter Borges in center, and Shelby Miller on the mound.
Well, here's a scouting report by Jaguar of San Diego for Despaigne. Different looks and velocity, and he is an artist out there, especially strike one. Look for strike one, and then he can work his magic and also work quickly, because when things aren't going right, he can slow it down. I think that takes him out of rhythm.
Became unnerved in Atlanta, just couldn't find the strike zone, and then had a throwing error at third that cost him the game. Padres defense behind him, brought to you by the Aramco Group. Seth Smith, left field. Alexi Amarista again in center, and Will Venable, the right fielder. Solarte 4 for 5 last night, and the other at bat was a line drive out to first. Cabrera and Jerko, the double play combination. Alonso at first base. Yasmani Grandal will handle the many assorted offerings of Odrisamer Despaigne. And again, the news involving the trade, with about a half hour less than that now before the deadline, is that Chris Denorfia will be wearing a Seattle Mariner uniform. He's been traded up north to Seattle. We're underway, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Carpenter, solid leadoff man, 284. Fourth most walk batter in the National League, so he gets on there. 114 hits, Silver Slugger last year. And he hits this one to left field. Seth Smith toward the line for the first out. And you can hear some young cheers. It's a youth camp day at Petco. Over 2,000 youngsters have joined us up in the upper deck in left field. Good to have them with us. The Padres in the trade for Denorfia. Looks to me like the key player is Stephen Colsheen, a right-handed relief pitcher who's had an excellent record in the minors for Seattle. College pitcher at Auburn. Here's Colton Wong, Hawaiian native, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. So Denorfia goes north. Over a 300 batting average against left-handed pitching. That's what Seattle's looking for. And the added outfielder, Abraham Almonte.
Well, like you said, Dick, we wish Chris Denorfia well, because we love the way Chris Denorfia handled himself in a Padre uniform, but also in return getting an outfielder with offense. You don't see the batting average at the big league level very good, but you're going to get opportunities here for Almonte. But also getting a pitcher in return. I think anytime you look at those trades and you go for a position player, getting a pitcher in return and that possibility of two guys making an impact at the big league level is very important.
Colsheen has something like 10 strikeouts per 9 innings in his minor league record. Ground ball to the first baseman Alonso. He'll carry it to the bag for the unassisted putout. 2 quick outs for Despaigne. Grandal, there's a late scratch. Rene Rivera behind the plate? Yes, it is, on his birthday, in fact. 31 years old today, so happy birthday to Rene Rivera. That's a late change. We'll have to recheck that starting lineup. Yasmani Grandal in the lineup we received was hitting cleanup and catching. Holiday, first ball hunting. Venable looks up into the sunny skies, and that's a very quick 1-2-3 first inning for Despaigne. Cabrera will lead it off for the Padres. Up their first and only visit to Petco Park this year. The Padres go to St. Louis in mid-August. Right-hander Shelby Miller, just 23 years young, from Brownwood, Texas, on the mound.
Well, this big right-hander, and we take a look at the scouting report, lots of fastballs. You see a lot of that from the Cardinals staff, but also for the Padre hitters. Know the top of the strike zone. You have to stay in the strike zone, but he likes that velocity and that elevated fastball. He likes to pitch on the top of the strike zone.
Cardinals defense behind him is brought to you by Honda today. Here they are. Matt Holliday in left, Borges in center, Tavares in right. The infield around the horn, Carpenter, Peralta, Wong, and Adams. A.J. Brzezinski behind the plate for Shelby Miller. A new look at the lineup. It's brought to you by Toyota. A late scratch is Yasmani Grandal. There's some speculation that might involve a trade, but we'll see. Cabrera, Amarista, then Solarte moves third slot. Smith will hit cleanup, then Jerko fifth, Alonso sixth, Rivera seventh, Venable eighth, and Despagne ninth. Our scorebook's a mess, and we haven't even seen the first pitch.
Well, you know, it's a crazy
Padres.
day. Anytime you have the trading deadline, everyone is on alert.
Miller 7-8 on the season, sends in a strike to Cabrera. Everett hitting .219. Amarista is on deck. Line drive foul.
Well, Dick, talking about the trading deadline, and we're all going to have multiple conversations about it, but it stops at 1 p.m. West Coast time, but also some of those late minute trades sometimes are not announced until a little bit later in the day, so stay tuned.
Outside as Cabrera goes up on the handle of the bat with 2 strikes on him. Miller 6'3", 195. Outstanding record last year as a 22-year-old. Out of play. Close friend of Joe Kelly, who was traded to Boston today. Dave Roberts and Chris DeNorfia with their farewells as DeNorfia traded to Seattle.
Yeah, a lot of hugs, a lot of embraces.
Very popular guy. I remember when he was, an unknown 5 years ago in spring training. He had a cup of coffee with Oakland. No one really knew who DeNorfia was. He made himself a valuable player.
Yeah, and just the way he played the game, the way he respected the game of baseball. We all loved watching him play, especially in a Padre uniform. And you rate that as an effort. And I think the fans understood the type of effort they were going to get every single day by Chris DeNorfia.
Line drive to Wong. Tough luck hitting Cabrera. One away.
It's our keys to the game, brought to you by the Honda dealers of San Diego County. And hitting is contagious. 26 hits for the Padre offense the last 2 games against the Cardinals. And Despagne getting back on track in Atlanta. His last start got unwinded with that throwing error at the third base, and only 3 2/3. Look for him to get back.
Alexi Amarista. 3 hits last night, a couple of singles and a double. Raising his average up to 235. That'll make it into the crowd down the left field side. Big trade, the first major trade announced today. John Lester and Johnny Gomes from Boston to Oakland for Yoenis Cespedes. Well, that was a shocker. Cespedes, one of the brilliant young power hitters in Boston. That green monster will certainly appeal to his swing.
Well, Dick, you look at that trade, and John Lester is leaving as we see Amarista go down on strikes. But Lester leaving Boston, and then he's a free agent after the year. He has been said to wanting to sign back with Boston. They tried to negotiate with him during the year, and didn't come to terms, obviously. They made a trade, and they might end up with Cespedes and also Lester in a uniform next year, which would be a benefit to the Boston Red Sox in that trade.
Here's Solarte, 4 for 5 last night, and a line drive out to first. So he's hitting .364 as a Padre with a couple of home runs. 8 runs batted in 8 games played. 1-1. Seth Smith in the on deck circle. Should Solarte reach safely? Another foul.
You know, Dick, today we're going to talk about knowing the top of the zone. That was in the scouting report by Shelby Miller, because you can see right there that foul ball. He likes to throw that fastball that's elevated. It has that late life. So for the Padre hitters, they have to stay on it. And you can see Solarte trying to work on top of that baseball, but every individual hitter needs to know they're top of the strike zone and try to get him down. Set your sights down a little bit lower.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Solarte. So just a little over a week since he became a Padre. Solarte, and certainly has caught the attention of manager, coaches, and fans. Looks like he's going to be an outstanding acquisition. And this is low, 3-2, 95 on the fastball from Shelby Miller.
Well, I continue to say this about the Cardinal pitching staff. They are very fastball heavy. They're very aggressive, and in this series you've seen them get behind and get into hitters counts. You see Derek Lilliquist to the right, along with Mike Matheny, the manager of the Cardinals.
Protective swing, fouls it away. Solarte last night got the Padres on the board in the first inning with an RBI single through the hole on the right side and kept right on going.
Well, the switch hitter has done it from both sides, and you can see having an RBI in 7 of his first 8 games as a Padre.
Fouls that away. There's that high pitch, and Solarte able to ruin it, keep the count full.
Well, with 2 strikes, you got to battle. You got to try to battle as much as you can, and sometimes get another pitch, another opportunity. It looks so good out of the hands, and then it just gets up in that chest level. It's very difficult. Top hand hitting is going to come into play today.
9th pitch of this at bat, and a ground ball sharply, but right to Adams at first. A long run to the bag, but he gets there in time. And Shelby Miller works a 1-2-3 first inning. No score after 1 at Petco. 2-3 first inning. Here's the big Red Sox Cardinals trade earlier today. Alan Craig, the outfielder, and Joe Kelly, the starting pitcher last night, on their way to Beantown, and John Lackey, 11-7 record, comes to the Cardinal pitching staff. Adams trying to bunt his way on against the shift.
I'll tell you what, Dick, looking at that trade from the Cardinals and the Red Sox standpoint, John Lackey next year has a $500,000 club option. Not the contract that you would be scared of. That's the reason why you've seen Alan Craig and Joe Kelly going over there. That's a big return going to Boston. But John Lackey has pitched much better in a Boston uniform and going over there, and he has been said to say he's going to honor that club option for next year. I think that's the motivation from the Cardinals standpoint.
Adams, a high fly ball, shallow and right. Venable waits for it to come down. One away. So the St. Louis Cardinal rotation takes a very dramatic new look in the last 48 hours. Justin Masterson, acquired from the Cleveland Indians, and now John Lackey from Boston. So Mike Matheny's got two new arms.
Well, Mike Matheny, the 4-time Gold Glove winner in his 13-year playing career, knows the importance of having pitching, going to the playoffs, and St. Louis Cardinals team believes they're going to be in the playoffs. They lost to Boston in the World Series last year, but they understand pitching. And this is a staff that has 18 shutouts this year on the year.
There's that side-wheeling delivery from Despaigne. Peralta, 254 hitter. Ground ball left side, deep in the hole is Cabrera. Throws across in time. 5 up, 5 down for Despaigne. We have word coming in that the Tigers apparently are making a deal. Austin Jackson going to Seattle. So a lot of last minute, in fact, just seconds away from officially the trade deadline, 1 o'clock Pacific time. We're still waiting to see why Yasmani Grandal was scratched so late in the starting lineup for the Padres. A.J. Pierzynski, the catcher, the veteran 37-year-old, acquired from the Red Sox. Actually, he was released by Boston. Cardinals signed him to help fill the void left by the injury to All-Star Yadier Molina. He can hit. Lifetime .283 average coming into the season.
Well, Dick, anytime a team loses a catcher like Yadier Molina and you have the ability to pick up an experienced catcher like A.J. Pierzynski, that is a credit to the organization and that opportunity for Pierzynski. Yadier Molina is supposed to be out till possibly early to mid-September.
What specifically was it? A hand, a thumb? What?
It was a thumb, and he slid into third base, and it's that right thumb on his throwing hand, but he had his hand down. That a lot of people try to teach. Don't put your hand down when you're sliding, but that left thumb caught in the dirt.
What a loss.
That is. It's because he is the most important player in this Cardinal organization because of how he handles the staff, shuts down the running game.
2-2, the slow curveball deep on the left side and through for a base hit. So they had to shift on, and Pierzynski able to go the opposite way for the first hit of the game.
Well, defensively he helps the Cardinals, but offensively sitting on this curveball and waiting for it to get back. You can see him backing that ball up with his eyes and going the other way. These Padres were on a little bit of a shift, and you could see Everett Cabrera going to his right, going a long way into the outfield grass.
Brings up young Oscar Taveras. Highly touted, one of the prized minor league prospects, but now with a big club. Starting slowly, 20 hits and 96 at bats for a .208 average.
Well, Dick, you go back to that trade for the Cardinals and Alan Craig, which raises a lot of eyebrows. He's going to Boston, but this opens up the door for Oscar Taveras to get some playing time. This young man is supposed to be a very dynamic player, but has been spotty with playing time, and Mike Matheny had to pick his spots. a longer swing, and you get that sometimes from younger players. Now he's going to get some consistent playing time. He's going to have to perform.
1 for 5 in the series. He hit that one deep to right field. If it's fair, it's gone. Home run. Oscar Taveras, his second big league home run, and the Cardinals strike in the first inning or second inning against Espana. A 2-run shot. Taveras scoring in front of him, Pierzynski, and it's 2-0 St. Louis.
Well, Pierzynski gets the 2-out single, and then Taveras puts this fastball that's right sitting over the middle of the plate. Taveras to head down, and a powerful swing by the youngster. Getting playing time and performing early.
In his 7th start, only the 2nd home run allowed by Espana. Both by left-handed hitters. So after scoring only 1 run Tuesday night, only 1 run last night, and losses to the Padres, Taveras gets 2 with 1 swing today. Peter Borges, the batter. Looks like the ball's going to carry very well today. A little humidity, hot sun.
We always say it during the day, it does travel. You can tell a difference from the hitter standpoint. They don't take batting practice most of the time on day games, especially after a night game, but it does travel much better here at Petco Park during the day.
Former Angel Peter Borges. Fly ball to right. Venable eases back, and that'll do it. But a 2-out single by Pierzynski, and Oscar Taveras, the young right fielder, hammers his 2nd big league home run, and the Birds lead 2-0.
Bottom of the 2nd, Padres trailing 2-0. And a quick update on Ian Kennedy. Talked to him today. Yesterday he threw for the first time since suffering that oblique strain. He said he woke up, feels good, and there he is throwing. He said most of the pain's gone away and he is ready to start on Saturday. So some good news for Ian. I did talk to him about when he swung in Chicago on that last start. Said he knew immediately he pulled something. He went and pitched right after that in the next inning. Said, I knew something was wrong. I just wanted to give myself enough time to get healthy fully.
All right, good news that Kennedy expected to pitch on Saturday, the middle game of the 3-game series with the Braves against Irvin Santana. Well, the Padres will have to climb uphill here as they trail early 2-0. Seth Smith, Jed Jerko, Yonder Alonso in the 2nd. And the word on Yasmani Grandal, as soon as someone scratched that late in the game, I mean very late, it's was he involved in a trade? The answer apparently is no, that he just came up with something a little sore, and so Rene Rivera on his birthday gets the catching call today. Line drive to left field and caught by Holiday. One out to Jed Jerko. Jed having a terrific series, 5 for 8. 5 for 8 and 5 RBIs in the series. Sixth home run last night to left field. Yonder Alonso on deck. Miller, outstanding stuff. Look at that fastball at 96. First time. Well, actually, last year pitched one start and one in relief. He's 0-1, 5.19 against San Diego. Got to be patient with him. He's walked 55 batters in almost 4+ walks per game for 9 innings. It's second most walks in the National League. So Padres will try to be patient, but it's 1-2 here. High fly ball, that's hit well. How far will it carry? Taveras looks up, it's gone! Touch 'em all, Jed Jerko. Number 7 for Jerko. Home runs in back-to-back games against the Cardinals. What a series indeed. 6 for 9 in the series. 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in.
Well, this is my favorite swing for Jed Jerko, and the reason why, when he is powering the baseball to right field, right center, that is his sweet spot. You know, everything works off of that. This is absolutely squared up and in the jack deck. And Dick, the jerk store, it continues to stay open. I love it. It's great.
Throw away the keys, keep it open. So 2-1 now as Jerko gets one of the runs back as Taveras hits the 2-run homer in the top half of the inning, showing his power to the opposite field. Alonso at 215. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yonder. Had a triple last night, his first major league 3-base hit. One and 2. Miller was 3rd last year in the Rookie of the Year balloting for the pitcher, 3rd behind Jose Fernandez. Miami actually for the overall Rookie of the Year. Puig was 2nd. 2 and 2. So the Miami right-hander Fernandez, Puig with the 2nd most votes, and this man Shelby Miller 3rd. It was the most wins by a St. Louis rookie going all the way back to 1967 as he won 15 games. To the left side and handled there by Carpenter. 2 away. And Will Venable the batter.
Well, you look at Shelby Miller and you understand the big tall right-hander has that big base. You see the strong legs. This is a powerful right-hander that relies on his fastball and his velocity, but not a lot of movement. It's more run than there is sink. Like we talked about, that top of the pitching strike zone, you have to have velocity to pitch up in the strike zone, and that's exactly what he does.
Venable, a 3-run home run last night, and an RBI single as he knocked in 4 runs, raising his RBI count to 21. '95. last night. Part of the 8-run 7th inning. Venable with a 3-run shot to right field. Home run number 4 on the year.
Yeah, that put the game away. You saw Will Venable into the jack deck, and good sign to see because Will Venable had a great second half last year, the Padres MVP.
Up and in, 1-2. So no more news from the trade scene. So apparently the Padres making just the one deal. Chris Denorfia going to Seattle. Everyone can relax now. Inside, 2-2. Boy, he's got a live arm, doesn't he?
He does. He's working both sides of the plate. You saw that ball inside. This is when he likes to throw up in the top of the zone.
That ball hit well to right field. That's going and gone. It's a tie game as Venable cracks one deep to right field. He will touch them all. Number 5 for Venable. Jerko and Venable as they homered last night. Homer again today in the 2nd inning to tie the game.
Dick, this Padre offense is relying on getting after the fastball. And when you look at the swing from Will Venable, he got a mistake pitch. You take a look at the swing, and using that lower half, you can see straight down through there and driving the baseball, increasing that barrel through the baseball. But that was a mistake by Shelby Miller going over the middle of the plate. Tie ball game.
That's a home run in any ballpark in America. A 2-2 tie, all on home runs. Taveras a 2-run shot in the top half of the 2nd, and solos by Jerko and Venable to tie it at 2 in the bottom of the 2nd. Miller had given up only 13 home runs in his previous 21 games, but 2 in the same inning today. 1-1 to Rivera. Breaking ball outside. Rene, 31 years of age today. Happy birthday to the Padre catcher. Boy, even the foul balls are jumping off the bats. Well, we're going to, in spirit of the trade, for an inning at least, Mark Sweeney is going to be swapped to the St. Louis Cardinals television network, and the Mad Hungarian is going to come over and sit with us for an inning. Al Rabowski.
I'm worried because we had golf shirts on today, and they're all knotted up.
Yeah.
I have to change my uni before I get over there. You want that first impression to be a good one.
Somehow you don't expect Rabowski to show up in a shirt and tie, do you? Full count Rivera. Well, it'd be interesting to get his review of the trade made by the Cardinals today to get John Lackey and give up Joe Kelly and Alan Craig to Boston. Full count. Another foul. Late on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but still alive is Miller, now up to 41 pitches, and he's not out of the 2nd inning yet.
Dick, if you look at it, and the first time through the order, the Padres can almost eliminate that off speed, the secondary pitches, and just get after the fastball, which we've seen from Jed Jerko and Will Venable.
Line to right center, shallow. Here comes the kid, Taveras, and a juggling catch that showed a lot of baseball before he was able to clutch that fly ball Rivera. But the Padres on Jerko's home run to the opposite field. He shows the way to Venable. Homers as well. It's tied at 2. Home runs already. A 2-run shot for Taveras and solos by the Padres, Jerko and Venable. A 2-2 tie, and as we mentioned earlier, in the spirit of this being a trade day, the final trade day, Al Roboski, best for an inning. Mark Sweeney goes over to the St. Louis telecast. Left-hander, good to see you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah. How about the news involving the Cardinals today to pick up John Lackey?
Yeah, very somber clubhouse because I think the players wanted to see some help, but they didn't want their favorite players to leave. And, it is a business. You got to deal with that. And once a player accepts that it's part of the game, it's a lot easier to understand why trades are made.
Despaigne facing Shelby Miller. Miller has 5 hits this year. And we understand Miller and Joe Kelly very close pals.
Yeah, very close. They both were in the same draft class. Shelby was a number 1 out of high school, and Joe Kelly was 3rd.
And so you are close to a player through your minor league years, and then as a major league, and all of a sudden he's not one of your own.
Well, not only that, but when Shelby Miller got married this offseason, Joe Kelly was his best man. Then Kelly gets married this offseason, and Miller's his best man. But I love the fact that Joe Kelly told Shelby Miller, he goes, "You may be the number 1 draft pick, but I'm the better pitcher." And they have remained steadfast friends.
Are you surprised that the Cardinals went after both Justin Masterson and John Lackey?
Not really. Jaime Garcia's out for the year. He had shoulder surgery. Michael Wacha probably won't be back till September. And the problem the Cardinals were having after Wainwright and Lance Lynn, 3, 4, and 5 were really struggling to get through the 6th inning. So it was putting a burden on the bullpen.
Despaigne now to the leadoff man Carpenter, who whistles that one foul. Carpenter flying to left field his first time up. 1 out in the top of the 3rd. 2-2 tie here at Petco. Final game of the 3-game series. Well, it's going to be a contentious ride the final 2 months of the season in the NL Central.
There's enough games between all 4 of the front runners in the Central Division amongst each other. And when we go home tomorrow, we open up a 3-game series against the first place Milwaukee Brewers. So the Cardinals are confident when they're matched up against their own.
So Milwaukee leading Pittsburgh by 2 at the start today, and the Cardinals are 2.5 back. Well, there you see it. Cincinnati just 6 back, and they're in a rut of late. They've lost 12 of the last 15 games.
Lost an awful lot of their key players to injury, but there's time for them to come back also.
Back to the mound, off the glove of Despaigne. Jerko slips and falls, and by that time he can't make a play on the speedy Carpenter. That has to be an infield hit for Carpenter.
It's that reaction of pitchers always going to try and stop that ball, but there are times when it works to his detriment.
Yeah, that Jerko was actually in position to field it. How about your career, Al? Trades? Were you traded early on?
I was traded from St. Louis to Kansas City because something about facial hair and Gussie Busch. And I helped Whitey win a division in Kansas City one year, and it got him fired the next year.
Okay. And you're still wearing the stash?
Still wearing the stash. But the black belt pitchers I had for Anheuser-Busch through their ownership are still good with our new ownership.
30 years now in the Cardinals telecast. Gosh, time does fly. Huh?
It does, and we have the next best job. The best job is playing baseball, but we no longer can do that. So being in the booth, you get your ego fed. You still go into the ballpark, and your ERA doesn't go up anymore.
My friends in high school and college at Edinburgh, you always thought you could play. You only talked a good game, so it works out that way too.
It helps.
1 out single for Carpenter at first base. Despaigne facing Colton Wong. This young Hawaiian infielder, just 23. You going to score enough runs, the Cardinals?
That's a real question. Last year the National League champions, they hit .330 with runners in scoring position that just set a mark, all-time mark, and they scored the most runs in the National League. But this year is a completely different story. We have really struggled offensively.
I think next to the Padres, the least number of runs in the National League.
Yes, and actually the Padres have hit more home runs than the Cardinals also. So it's a bit strange, but we all agreed that the Cardinals needed to go out and get starting pitching, even though the offense has been non-existent at times.
Saw that record last year, runners in scoring position. Bunt try by Wong. He's got 4 base hits on bunts this year.
You know, Alan Craig, who was traded to Boston today, the last 2 years he led all of baseball in hitting with runners in scoring position. It was 454. It didn't matter if there was 2 outs or not. He was going to come through. And this year he just really got off to a slow start and never could recover.
But he had 44 runs batted in. There goes the runner and fouled away. U-turn for Carpenter back to first base. Well, if you look at those attendance figures, though, you're packing the house every night in St. Louis, aren't you?
It's been unbelievable. They have not played to a crowd below 40,000. They've opened up Ballpark Village, which is across the street.
That big parking lot?
Yes, and they've opened that up, and they're just printing money there.
Fly ball to left, a long run for Smith. Can he get there? No, it falls for a base hit. Carpenter will go on to third and Wong to second. And the Cardinals threaten to regain the lead here with men at second and third. 1 out in the third.
Wong was last year's Cardinal Minor League Player of the Year. Very talented young player and getting the chance to play every day now.
So the youth for the Cardinals represented by Wong, the second baseman, and your right fielder Oscar Taveras. Late break by Smith on the ball, and it drops in for a 2-base hit.
And then he slipped trying to recover, get that ball back in. But Cardinals are banking an awful lot that Holiday will come through. Throughout his career, Matt Holiday has been a good second half hitter.
And a money hitter.
Very much so. He leads the major leagues in game-winning RBIs. Sometimes criticized because he'll hit into a lot of double plays, but he's a low ball hitter that just drives the ball up the middle.
First base open and a line drive, low line drive through the box into center field, and Holiday delivers. 2-run score. Carpenter from third and Wong from second, and the Cardinals regain the lead 4-2. 3 consecutive hits here in the third off Despaigne.
Low ball hitter. Hits a breaking ball here and just powers it up the middle. And he'll probably lead the league again in grounding into double plays, but he hits the ball so hard that if it's right at a fielder, a byproduct of hitting the ball hard. And he leads the ball club now with his 55 RBIs.
And he has runners in scoring position, 4th best average in the National League, 340, and adds to that with that 2-run single. Still 1 out, Matt Adams. And the shift on with 3 men on the right side. Boy, can you believe how the shift has become so much in vogue around baseball?
It is strange. And when you talk to Matt Adams, he can't figure it out why teams do this, because he felt throughout the minor leagues he just hit the ball where it's pitched. Most of the time they pitch him away, and then they play him to pull.
Adams, we were talking about young players. Really, he should be included on that list.
No doubt. And he's a much better defender than you may know or think. Very agile over there. He's got soft hands and just a wonderful young man from Slippery Rock.
Yes, Slippery Rock State College or University now. 25 years of age. 260-pounder at least. But agile big man, as you pointed out, Al.
The Cardinals, the last 2 winners, they have their chef, and they have sent him to Lance Lynn and also to Matt Adams, and trying to educate them on how to eat better to get their weight down.
High fly ball to left field. Another long run for Smith, but he'll get there this time for the second out. Brings up Johnny Peralta, the shortstop. leading Cardinal home run hitter, 14 for Peralta. How about that view of our fine city? Huh?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Coming to the old ballpark, but what they've done downtown is quite impressive, and I know a favorite destination of most National League players.
You don't miss the humidity of St. Louis at all, do you?
You would not believe it, but this past week the temperatures have been in the high 70s.
No way. Late July?
Late July. Last Thursday I was swimming in the pool and my heater kicked on.
How's the corn going to ripen, for crying out loud? Peralta, pick up in the offseason by St. Louis. Holiday at first. Well, Despaigne was almost unhittable in his first 5 starts. He ran into trouble with his control in Atlanta the last time, and no one's really hit him like the Cardinals are today.
I've been telling our viewers the difference between day baseball and nighttime baseball and how the ball travels.
0-2. Padres thought they had a strikeout. Do you have a favorite park in which to pitch in your day?
Wherever I was booed the loudest.
Well, you got that quite
often.
Yeah,
I mean it's a lot of fun to come into an enemy ballpark and be greeted by a standing boo.
And you had your routine. You came in there like you were mad at the world. That's the Mad Hungarian nickname. Just a pussycat. But right field, lined at Venable, comes up to make the catch. But the damage done. Single by Carpenter, a double Wong, and Matt Holliday's 2-run single. The Cards lead by 2. From beautiful San Diego, Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball. Brought to you by Petco, the power of together. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Thursday afternoon, and this being the trading deadline, Fox Sports making a 1-inning trade. Al Roboski for Mark Sweeney. I guess all of the analysts throughout the country trying to go through the numbers to see who got the better deal here.
Well, sometimes it's fun to do it. You get to know a little bit more about our ball club, and I'm sure Mark who played in St. Louis.
Right.
So, we're quite familiar with Mark's career. The Cardinal fans get a chance to catch up with him.
Yeah, he is very fond of his days in St. Louis. Despaigne, weak swing and a miss, has not impressed anyone with his talents with the bat. 0 for 10 thus far.
But just 5 strikeouts.
That's right. He has made contact. And he does here. Slow roller out to the second baseman Wong. And one away.
You know, Dick, the Cardinals have come into a little buzzsaw. We've been so impressed with this young Padre pitching. And they've been just outstanding in this series. So I know there's hope for what the Padres are trying to accomplish here.
Yeah. And I'm pleased that Adam, you know, there was concern that Ian Kennedy might be traded, and he has pitched really well the last month and a half. Well, what'd you think of that Jesse Hahn over the top curveball, the 12-6 curveball the kid has?
Well, not only that, curveball's outstanding, but then Ross's breaking ball is just a disappearing act. And
Andrew Kashner at the start of the season was considered the ace of the staff. He's about to come back. He said he threw a bullpen with no pain yesterday. So the rotation and the pitching seems well stacked for the Padres in the future. It's a man they just haven't been able to hit the first half of the season. Cabrera lined out to the second baseman his first time.
Our players, you know, commenting every day. All the weather out here every single day. And remember, I grew up in Anaheim, so I'm familiar with how nice and how wonderful, and it's such a great city.
So you were a kid when the ground ball, and Adams, there he is. Good glove. Cabrera's hit the ball hard twice for outs.
That was an indication of how well Matt Adams moves and his slick fielding.
So 2 away to Alexi Amarista. Where'd you go to high school then?
Savannah.
Okay.
Same place that Trevor Hoffman and Glenn Hoffman went to. See Matt Adams right there on his toes, and he's got very soft hands, and he'll get it, and then he's a little quicker than you might think also.
So you grew up with the who were the Angels playing at that time when you were in high school that you might have admired?
Fergosi and Bobby Canop. You know, there were a couple, and I know we all felt bad what happened, you know, with the passing of Jim Fergosi.
Yeah, he just passed.
My younger brother, when Trevor Hoffman got to the big leagues, my younger brother said, "Do you remember Trevor?" And I said, "I don't remember Glenn." That I was gone and playing and never really came back to California. And yet I do have 2 daughters that are living in California right now.
Al Raboski is our one-inning guest here on Fox Sports San Diego. Mark Sweeney over with the St. Louis television crew. Al mentioning Trevor Hoffman, and I'm sure your fraternity, the Relief Corps fraternity, admire one another, and of course he's a treasure, a San Diego treasure, Trevor Hoffman.
No doubt about it. He was just a great competitor. Got a chance to see his 600 save in person.
Right. Thank you so much, Al.
Thank you, Dick.
All right, have a great season. We'll see you in mid-August when we come into St. Louis.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. Al Raboski, our guest, the Padres and the Cardinals. St. Louis leading 4-2.
Throughout the first pitch, and Subway's doing some pretty cool things for military families today. Let us know a little bit about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, before the game, we had a really cool Subway tailgate where we invited military members and their families to come on down on behalf of the Padres and Subway. We fed them lunch with Subway sandwiches. They got free tickets to the game as well, and I just got to thank them for their service and all they do for us. It was awesome.
How was your throwing arm today?
You know, it was not my greatest first pitch, I will admit, but it didn't hit the ground too much, and it was better than 50 Cent, so that's all I can say, you know.
Well, I will say you were in there talking trade deadlines. I mean, you're a big baseball fan?
I am. I grew up in Indianapolis and grew up actually a big Cincinnati Reds fan. But I just love sports in general, love baseball. And this is my second time being here at Petco Field. And just what a gorgeous day, what a great park. And can't wait to come back sometime soon as well.
I appreciate the time, Jared. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Eat fresh.
That's right. Kuzinski leading it off, the catcher. High fly ball sailing toward Seth Smith in left for the first out. Well, here is the big trade. David Price, the most prized possibility, has indeed been traded by Tampa. The Tigers get the talented left-hander. Seattle gets Austin Jackson. It's a three-corner swap. Tigers give up Drew Smiley to Tampa. Mariners give Tampa Nick Franklin, and a prospect from the Tigers, Willie Adams, to Tampa.
This is a wow. This is a trade that I think a lot of people are surprised at, because we've heard David Price's name, but you didn't think he was going to go, because Tampa Bay has been playing much better baseball, only 5.5 out of the wild card race. But this must have been a big haul in their estimation.
Boy, Verlander, Scherzer, Price.
Wow.
How about the playoffs, those three going?
Well, you saw what Oakland did and getting Lester, and these are those teams that locked horns the last 2 years, and Oakland can't get past the Tigers. Well, the Tigers just had a huge statement, and David Price has another year, so he's going to be in that uniform, and so impressive.
2 strikes the count. And 1-2 to Taveras, a 2-run homer, his first time up. The Cardinals lead 4-2 against O.D. Despaigne. Padres runs on home runs by Jerko and Venable. Check swing foul. Mark Kotze is with us. Any reaction to some of the trades that were consummated today, Mark?
You know, Boston Red Sox trades, the Oakland Athletics trades, I think those were big deals. And obviously the last one that went down at the deadline with David Price is a monster. But I think, you know, it's good for baseball. It was fun to watch.
Sharply hit on one hop to Jerko. And Taveras out for the second out. Are either one of you, Mark, surprised that the Padres made only the one deal, Chris Denorfia?
No, and I'm actually glad that, and I'd like to hear what Mark thinks, but I'm glad that they kept Ian Kennedy. This is a guy that won 21 games in the big leagues in an Arizona Diamondbacks uniform, and also that opportunity to eat up innings at a high level. And we've seen the strikeouts. We've seen a much better Ian Kennedy in a uniform here. I wanted to ask Mark Kotze his impressions of keeping Ian Kennedy as well.
Well, I agree, Mark Sweeney. I believe, you know, that I can't believe there wasn't more interest in Ian Kennedy out there. But like you said, Ian Kennedy's an innings eater and a you know good starting pitcher that we value as very important to this organization going forward. And you know, I'm happy that Ian Kennedy's still a Padre.
Well, presuming that Andrew Cashner is going to come back and be 100% healthy, and the Cashner that we saw at his best, that's quite a pitching rotation for Bud Black.
It is, and Dick, you have to have a veteran leader in a presence, a guy that when he's not starting, he's having conversations with young players and developing in this game. And Ian Kennedy is exactly that. He's experienced New York Yankees. He's gone to Arizona Diamondbacks and played in a playoff situation. That is a guy that you have to rely on to develop your young pitchers.
Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports reporting the trade. We haven't seen the documents. Swing and a miss, and Borges is down on strikes. Second strikeout for Despaigne. Middle of the fourth. St. Louis 4, San Diego 2. not too far. It's the crow flies or the bird flies from Balboa Park. And here is the scene in Detroit as Austin Jackson in the game is called to the dugout by Brad Ausmus, the former Padre. And although the news of the trade involving him and David Price is not official, it has been reported by insider Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports. It looks as if Jackson is on his way to the Northwest.
Well, Dick, it's just that dynamic of, I've been traded before, so what goes through your head and going to battle with so many of your teammates. And that's your first thing, how you say goodbye, especially during the season. Heard Houston Street say that on his way out. But you spend a lot of time with these guys, and that personal relationship is very hard to get over. Then you have to come to grips with going to another team, being wanted by that other team, but still leaving what that comfort level is at a club, and especially for Jackson, knowing that Detroit has a chance to win the whole thing.
Right. That's a long haul from Detroit all the way out to Seattle. That means moving family, not only your baseball friends. Solarte, a big swing and a miss, 1-2.
And Dick, so many people say it doesn't matter. They're making a lot of money. Well, it does matter because you're still a human being. You have relationships. You have comfort level, especially that dynamic you said about the family being comfortable. Your kids are there. And there is a lot to it. And it does go into it because these guys aren't robots.
Two-hopper to Wong, and Solarte has grounded out twice, both to the right side. One out to Seth Smith, who lined to left field his first time. Well, a couple of really blockbuster trades. The first one that shocked the baseball world's Oakland giving up on Cespedes, who seems to have nothing but all-star credentials as a young power hitter. Boston really reshaping its roster.
Yeah, and you see all the trades, and usually you see the prospects that are going the other way. Now you see in big leaguers, because especially from the everyday player standpoint, there's not a lot of everyday players out there that are making a huge impact, and Cespedes is one of those guys for Boston now with that short left field wall. He's going to enjoy that. Lift and separate to left. Won the last two home run derbies and the All-Star Classics the last 2 years.
So in terms of the trades and the National League West, nothing today by the Giants or the Dodgers. The Diamondbacks made a couple of deals. Foul back. They traded Gerardo Parra to I think that was to Milwaukee. And Martin Prado, a professional hitter for minor leaguer Peter O'Brien, to the Yankees. Prado hitting .270. He just a flat out can hit.
Yeah, and a great teammate, great guy in the clubhouse. But we look at the impact of what the Yankees are trying to do. They're trying to get Derek Jeter an opportunity in the playoffs.
Smith caught looking. And for Shelby Miller, strikeout number 3. Time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SDFanPhoto. A chance to have it shown. An upcoming game telecast brought to you by AT&T. Construction, it's a work day this Thursday afternoon.
I like where I'm at compared to that.
How they can work up there, not even noticing how far above terra firma they are. Jed Jerko homered to right field his first time up. Second home run in as many games against Cardinal pitching. And Will Venable followed in the second with a solo homer also to right field. Opposite field. He's got that kind of power.
Well, and you like to see that power, especially to right field, right center, and going the other way on that fastball, elevated, and has that power to right center. We didn't see it in the first half too many times. His home runs were pull power. He's got it in him, and you're seeing that consistency factor creep into Jed Jerko now.
Look at how Shelby Miller is changing his approach here. A lot of fastballs early now, a lot of breaking balls. He's ahead of Jerko 1-2. Struck him out. So an impressive inning for Miller. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres. A couple strikeouts more for Miller. It's 4-2 St. Louis.
Credit to the coaching staff and just the organization as a whole for not only believing in me, but really allowing me to become the player that I have, become the teammate that I have, and just allow me to keep enjoying the game like I have for more years than maybe I could have.
Great teammate, and just plays the game hard, the kind of man you want in uniform. Goes to Seattle, Chris Denorfia. I can remember in 2010 he was a free agent just trying to hang on, maybe the last year before he tried something else, and he wound up with 5 years or 4.5 with the Padres. And if he can't make it in baseball, he can always join the Seattle Opera with that voice of his.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Kotsay down near the dugout, losing Chris Denorfia. That's a tough one to swallow, isn't it?
It is. His leadership in the clubhouse at this point, Chris is moving forward and he's going to Seattle. He gives them an opportunity to have a great right-handed pinch hitter off the bench and a platoon outfielder that's going to give them a chance to, hopefully get deep in the playoffs for Chris. But as a teammate and a friend of Chris's, I ran down from left field after the pregame and just made sure I got to talk to him, wish him well, and let him know that I wanted to share a glass of whiskey with him at some point in Seattle.
I thought that was coffee that they served at Starbucks up there. Miller, the pitcher, makes good contact. Amarista with the first out here in the top of the 5th inning. Brings up Matt Carpenter, the leadoff man. Now, Gerardo Parra, a Gold Glove outfielder, goes to Milwaukee. And they get a couple of minor leaguers to do the Diamondbacks.
You look at the Brewers, and I thought they were going to really go after pitching. You heard them in on the David Price sweepstakes. They need an ace over there for the Milwaukee Brewers, but they're in first place. They're in the driver's seat. They just have to play consistent baseball and have some of those pitchers step up.
Matt Carpenter, his infield hit off the glove of Despagne led to a run in the 3rd. Wong then followed with a bloop double to left. And they both scored on Matt Holliday's sharp single to center. Ground ball through the hole into right field. He's a good hitter. Not only a good hitter, he's been up 405 at bats and is not wrapped into a double play all year.
Wow. Down to Mark Kotsay next to the dugout. I wanted to ask you from the dynamic. You've been around Bud Black as the manager of the Padres. How different is it when you start losing players for the manager, because you spent a lot of time around him?
I got a pleasure of playing for Blackie for 2 years and spending some time with him. It's always difficult. You develop a personal relationship with each guy, and that's what makes Blackie so good, is that he has a personal relationship with each guy in the dugout. And, you know, you go to battle, you go to war with these guys, and it is difficult. But at the same point, you're going to get a new face, and you're going to move forward, and you're going to have a new relationship that you have to develop as a manager. And I'm sure Blackie will do that with whoever steps in to take that role that Chris Denorfia filled for these last 4.5 years.
So there is a roster spot now for the Padres in the outfield. Of course, now with Denorfia gone and Maben on the suspension. A little shy in the outfield.
Mark, did you have any advice for Chris Denorfia leaving? Because you've been through these scenarios too, shifting team to team.
Yeah, it's not easy. I was traded one time during the season from Atlanta to Boston, where eventually I did make the postseason in 2008 with the Red Sox. And that's kind of my advice is, hey, you know, you're moving forward. You're going to a team that obviously wants you to fulfill a role and just go have fun and you know, do the same thing that you did here for 4.5 years. Play the game the same way, take the same approach, and be a good teammate. And all the things that he said, you know, that he's looking forward to doing in Seattle, basically.
1 ball, 1 strike to Colton Wong. A double and a ground out. A fly ball to center. Hit pretty well. Amarista going way back to the warning path. And he makes the catch. Alexi. That's 2 catches of a similar fashion in this series. The little man cracking into the wall and hanging onto the ball.
And you can hear Jerry Coleman right now. Hang a star on that one. Yes, sir. This is a great effort. This ball is absolutely smoked by Wong, and we talked about it traveling during the day and right up against the wall, making a great grab. Remember, this is the utility infield. They're playing center field and athletically going across his body against the wall and making a great catch.
I mean, because as the ball hit his glove, he hit the wall, and often it jars the ball free. But Amarista with the defensive play of the day and could have saved second and third or maybe more. So 2 outs. Matt Holliday 1 for 2. 2-run single the last time up to break the 2-2 tie. So assistant general manager and vice president A.J. Hinch. Here's the news on the 2 players acquired from Seattle in the Denorfia deal. Andrew Almonte will report to the Padres tomorrow. So he fills the 25-man roster, and the relief pitcher Stephen Colsheen will go to AAA El Paso. Abraham, not Andrew, but Abraham Almonte. He was on the Seattle 25-man roster at the start of the year, but just didn't hit, and but has in the minor leagues. AAA Tacoma this year. Almonte was hitting .267 with 6 homers, 31 runs batted in. He's a switch hitter. And that gives the Padres some more versatility in the lineup. 1-1 to Holliday. Carpenter at first. Foul tip. Hung on to by Rivera. 1-2.
Well, Dick, before the game, I ran into some scouts out there and asked him about Almonte, if they're coming from the Mariners, and he said you know, this young man has an opportunity to develop into a good piece for a major league club, and that's a good sign. You know, coming into it and knowing that you're losing a Chris Denorfia, who has done a fabulous job against left-handers. It's a very athletic young man coming to the Padres. Cott's going down to you. What do you know about Almonte?
I don't know a ton, Mark, but I do know, like you said, he's versatile. He can play all 3 outfield positions, center field being first and foremost. And as Dick said, he did open the season as the starting center fielder for the Seattle Mariners. He was given a small sample of 113 or so at bats. Didn't have immediate success, and Seattle moved him back down to the minor leagues.
Holliday takes. Just misses 2-2.
Well, I love what Cott says is versatile. And if you think about it, the game of baseball, especially in the National League, you have to be versatile. Bud Black, that's how he manages. He constructs his roster that way, and I think it's to the benefit. Who knows? More opportunities for Almonte could be a benefit for the Padres.
Did he go? Yes, he did, says plate umpire Brian Gorman. He didn't wait for the first base umpire. He punches out Holiday. We're at the halfway mark, 4.5 in the books. The Cardinals lead by 2. The Padres trailing 4-2. A Ram truck tools of the trade.
Yeah, and Dick, last night Bud Black dials up the hit and run, and you see the first and third in our Fox vision. Everett Cabrera's on first. He takes off with the pitch, and Amarista drives it to left field. An easy first to third. And if you take a look at some of the dynamics, Everett Cabrera looks back to see what Amarista does. He goes to third when he picks up the baseball, first and third, scoring a lot of runs last night. 12 runs, 16 hits. It's our tools of the trade.
Need some of those runs today as they trail 4-2 going into the home half of the fifth. Yonder Alonso will start it. Venable and Rivera to follow. And we'll keep sprinkling in the trade news. Lots of activity today. Shelby Miller continues to throw hard. Looking for a win to level his record on the season to 8-8. Surprisingly high ERA for Miller, 4.20 coming in.
You see him missing with the fastball and making some mistakes on the home runs for the Padres today, but he's settled in. 68 pitches to this point, but fastball heavy. And for the Padres, having that confidence, especially the last 2 games offensively, could come into play.
2-1. Alonso chops that one towards second, charged by Wong, and almost threw that away. Good play by Adams at first base. That's 8 in a row now retired by Miller. Well, a trade involving the Cubs and Atlanta Braves. Left-handed reliever James Russell and speedster Emilio Bonifacio can play second or the outfield. We'll see them tomorrow night. They'll be in an Atlanta Braves uniform. And down on the bottom, the Cubs get a minor league catcher, Victor Caratini, and cash.
Sounds like a drink, doesn't it?
Yeah. Might be a good one. Or a baby carrot.
Yes.
Venable. First time up. He got into one deep to right field. Home runs in back-to-back games, his 5th of the season. Padres have only 2 hits, both home runs. Waved that and missed. 1-1. Miller, since the home run by Venable, has retired all 8 batters that he's faced. Big thing so far in terms of Miller, he came in as in terms of wildness, walking hitters, second in the National League, walking 55 batters in 115 innings, but he has not given a free ticket today. And he's close now, 3-1 to Venable. On the outside corner, he got a call there. A little wide, 3-2. It's only the third 3-ball count for Miller this afternoon. Rivera on deck. And a foul tip, strike 3. So he got the call, 3-1. That would have been ball 4. 5 strikeouts now for Miller. And our Saquon Casino Vacation stat of the game. Last year, rookie strikeout leaders: Jose Fernandez, Julio Teheran, and Shelby Miller.
That's a lot of young talent in the game. Jose Fernandez having Tommy John surgery this year. Julio Teheran for the Atlanta Braves has become their ace. And we can see what Shelby Miller's repertoire has today. A power fastball. It's very impressive.
We will not see Teheran in the weekend series with Atlanta. We do have the pitching matchups for you. 2 outs to Rivera. He flied to right field his first time. Breaking ball, and Miller, after using that 95 to 97 mile an hour fastball in the first couple of innings, now has gone more and more to the breaking balls. And he's quickly in front of Rivera, 2 strikes.
Arcotze down near the dugout. What's your impressions of Shelby Miller, the big right-hander?
As you guys have said, he's thrown strikes. He's attacking the strike zone today. You know, leading the league in walks, you'd assume that he's going to come out and the Padres were going to be patient, which they had been, but he's throwing strikes and he's making these guys swing the bats.
And he's benefiting from a wide strike zone from plate umpire Gorman. But that one, in fact, could have been called strike 3. Line drive, that's into the left field corner. Rivera on his birthday is going to celebrate with a 2-base hit with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Only the 3rd hit for the Padres, the other 2 home runs.
Yeah, capitalizing on a mistake. Shelby Miller throws this fastball in the sweet zone for Rivera, and you can see that head of the bat through the baseball and a picture perfect swing. Good balance. Seeing Rene Rivera take advantage of his opportunities, and happy birthday, Rene.
Unfortunately, though, the Padres with 2 outs now will have to depend on what appears to be a weakness in Despaignet's game, and that's hitting.
Well, the good thing is turning the lineup over, which is very essential, and the importance of that hit by Rivera.
Despaigne grounded weakly to second base, is only at bat. And this one punched up the middle, right to Peralta. And that'll do it for the Padres in the 5th inning. Rivera, 2-out double, left at second. It remains St. Louis up 4-2. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan. Real friendly, real close. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Visit us at aramco.biz. Same statue across the waterway from the Midway here in the San Diego Harbor. Celebrating a sailor coming home. Espanier back on the hill, top of the 6th inning, 4-2 St. Louis. Finally, the trade deadline has closed shop. The swap shop closed, but that doesn't mean we are not going to see trades in the next couple of weeks or so. Here's another Red Sox and Yankees, only the 3rd trade made between the two teams in some 28 years. And trading infielders that are having off seasons. Stephen Drew, he got off to a bad start, just having a place to play. Only 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. And Kelly Johnson, a little more power, and with that right field at Yankee Stadium, that's got to be attractive for him.
That's an interesting trade because the captain, Derek Jeter, is at shortstop. Stephen Drew, a very good, accomplished shortstop of his own.
Slow breaking ball at 64 miles an hour as he starts Matt Adams, who's flied out twice. Four runs, 6 hits for the Cardinals, 2 runs, 3 hits for San Diego. Changeup.
You see the shift, 3 on the right side. Jed Jerko playing short right.
Solardi manning the left side of the infield. And he goes to left field solidly. Smith trying to get to it, hold him to a long single, and that'll be the case. As Adams on with a leadoff hit here in the 6th inning. And our cold hard fact is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors. Padre pitchers Hahn joins 3 others since 1914. 100 years, fans, to win 7 or more games, ERA of 2.01 or lower in their first 9 career starts. Now that's not just hysterical, that's historical.
Yeah, that's a very impressive, and he has been. I love the composure on the mound, and I think that's what really separates him from most young pitchers out there. It's like he's unfazed in situations, and saw a lot more movement on his fastball last night with velocity.
Fouled away by Peralta.
And we talked about it on the broadcast last night, not doing it with the strikeouts. You see only 3 Ks, but he put the ball on the ground last night 13 times for outs.
If you count the double play, actually 14 outs.
Yep.
Out of 21. Al Roboski, when he was over here, said the Cardinal players is raving about both Ross and Hahn, and their breaking pitches that just come up there and disappear on you. 7th hit for the Cardinals off Despaigne. Leadoff single by Adams here in the 6th. Oh, that one got him. And Peralta, hit by a pitch, will head to first base. So neither pitcher has walked a man. Peralta stung by a pretty good fastball.
Peralta also has that elbow pad. Let's see where he gets hit. Right on that elbow pad on that outside part, which a lot of hitters will wear because of that inside presence and try to hang out over the plate. That fastball got away from Despaigne.
Let's check our top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco, as we look at A.J. Pierzynski. His ranking among active catchers: 1st in games, 2nd in homers, 1st in RBIs, extra base hits, and runners caught stealing. Pretty good report card for the veteran. Now 37 years of age, out of Orlando, Florida.
Now he's also a double play candidate. Doesn't run very well, puts the ball on the ground, and hopefully the Padres be a big situation to get a double play right here.
2 on, no one out. 2-0. Adams at second, Peralta at first. No one out here in the 6th. Fouled away, way out in front.
See Blaine Boyer getting loose in the Padre bullpen. This will be Despaignet's 90th pitch coming up.
Two and two the count. And now a full count. So a big pitch here in the game. Already got 2 men on, no one out. They want to load them up. Hasn't walked a man.
With Adams on second base and Peralta on first, not a running situation because you don't want to get out of that big inning. Also a double play candidate.
And he walked him. That's a first walk. So a single, a hit batsman, and a walk. And the Cardinals in business here with no one out and the bases full of birds. And that brings up young outfielder Taveras, who homered, a 2-run homer to get the Cardinals on the board in the 2nd inning. Darren Balsley out to talk with Despaigne. Assuming Cabrera is the interpreter here. Maybe Rivera. Now the Cardinals trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game series after losing 3-1 and 12-1 to the Padres. And a big chance here to blow it open with a 4-2 lead and no one out. Bases loaded for Mike Matheny. Infield will play back. Hit to the corners. You have the option, depending on how hard it's hit, to go the double play up the middle or come to the plate and get the force.
I think the Padre defense can afford to play a little bit deeper with Matt Adams at third base.
Ball one. Adams at third, Peralta at second, Pierzynski at first, so no speed aboard. And a line drive to Cabrera, double play. Peralta caught off base there at second, and an unassisted double play on the line drive to Cabrera.
Well, what an ideal situation for the Padre defense. Cabrera going towards second base, catching the line drive, and nothing Peralta could do. He takes that first step towards third base, and he's out. Big play by the Padre defense.
Was that ever? Bases loaded, no one out. Now first and third with 2 out to Peter Borges, who's lined to right and struck out. Despaigne can wiggle off the hook here and keep it at 4-2. That's a moral victory of sorts for the Padres. Ground ball to third, and it's under the glove of Cabrera. Borges delivers. It's 5-2. Seeing eye single through the left side for Borges, his 15th RBI of the year. That brings Adams home from third base.
Well, two out RBIs hurt you, and Peter Borges puts it right through that 5.5 hole. Nothing the defense can defend on that play.
So first and second, 2 outs to the pitcher Miller. Takes good swings, Miller. Not an automatic out by any means. 5 hits this year. He has struck out and fly to center today. And the Cardinals add on 5-2 here in the 6th. Espana probably in his final inning. He's out of the way because he grounded out to end the 5th inning. His pitch count closing in on 100. Breaking ball misses. Most earned runs given up by Despaigne since joining the club. This is his 7th start. And line drive. Smith, told you. Smith comes up with it quickly, and they're going to hold the runner at third. Ball again out to Smith, who is playing shallow in left field. The Cardinals have the bases loaded again. And the leadoff hitter, Matt Carpenter, the only player in the lineup for St. Louis with more than one hit. He's 2 for 3, is scheduled, and Bud Black out to the mound, and that's going to be all for Despaigne. Fortunate with 3 hits, a hit batsman, and a walk that more runs haven't scored here. Blaine Boyer relieving starter Despaigne. Drew Ford pitching change as Boyer makes his 17th appearance.
Yeah, he's done a nice job out of the Padre bullpen with his chances. Left-handed hitters hitting 200 off him. Right-handers 143 clip. Let's see, only 2 walks to the 15 strikeouts. That's a good ratio.
He inherits a bases loaded situation, and for the Padres, in good fortune in the inning, 3 hits, a walk, and a hit batsman, but thanks to the line drive double play, the Cardinals have only 1 run. Tough hitter, Carpenter, the batter. Flied out, infield hit, single to right. Leads St. Louis in hits with 116. And 4th in the league in walks, so he's an on-base machine. Przinski at third, Borges at second, the pitcher Miller at first. First fastball at 91, strike 1. Five runs, 9 hits now for St. Louis. 2 runs, 3 hits for San Diego. 2 home runs, solos, Jerko and Venable for the Padre runs. Chases.
We saw some awkward swings by Carpenter on a breaking ball last night, and then Jesse Hahn throws a very good curveball, but you see that curveball right there swung at awkwardly by Carpenter. See if they go to it again.
Bases loaded here in the 6th. St. Louis a run home to make it 5-2. And another breaking ball. Foul back. Count stays at 2 strikes.
Surprised at the location of that curveball too, with 2 strikes, and the last one, the previous one, was buried in the dirt. You saw an awkward swing. That was a hittable curveball.
Boyer now 33 years of age.
May's asking for that fastball up.
1-2.
What that'll do is change the eye level of the hitters. You could throw that curveball off of that high fastball. You could possibly throw that fastball in with 2 strikes here as well. Back-to-back fastballs.
Boyer drafted by the Braves 14 years ago. He was the 3rd-round pick for Atlanta. 1-2. Wouldn't bite at the low breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Holiday a 2-run single. A key blow in the game. 5-2. The Cardinals lead. Another ball low, and it's a full count. Boyer's got to come in with a good pitch now. Bases loaded. They'll all be going on the delivery here with 2 out. The only outs in the inning off a line drive, unassisted double play. Line drive to the shortstop Cabrera. I mentioned before, Carpenter is the 4th most walked batter in the league, so he's not going to hurt himself here. 3-2. They're gone, and he walked. It's 6-2. So a couple of walks and a hit batsman helping the Cardinals here in the 6th inning. Carpenter with his 38th RBI. Brzezinski scores.
That hurts, Dick, because you get 0-2 to a hitter in a situation where you inherit some runners and you go to the full count. You can't locate a fastball.
And they're still loaded for Colton Wong, who has a double in 3 trips, robbed of a hit by Amarista on the wall in center field. That was a 4-run swing. Borges, Miller, and Carpenter aboard now for St. Louis. They're scoring in 2s. 2 runs in the 2nd, 2 more in the 3rd, 2 now in the 6th. 1-1. 8th man to bat in the inning. 3 singles, 2 walks, and a hit batsman. And 2 runs scored. Two and 1. That's a strike. Just did pinch the low inside corner. Two runs home, 2-2 on the hitter, 2 outs. Clips that one back into the 2nd tier, off to the left. ripped, but foul to right. Oh, he got all of that one that was out in front. So you talk about the refurbishing of a lineup with young players. Wong is only 23 and Taveras 22. Part of the future of St. Louis.
And sprinkled in with Matt Holliday. Alan Craig goes in a deal today to Boston. You've got to have that veteran leadership for these guys to learn from.
2-2 in the dirt and full count. Bases are still loaded. Warriors got to throw a strike. He's already walked one man in. Rivera out to talk to him. Wong in the driver's seat here. 3-2. Runners go. Struck him out. Boyer coming up with a high fastball, and the inning comes to an end. 2 runs for the Cardinals. They leave the bases loaded.
I'm looking forward to going up there and just being myself, and giving quality at bats against left-handers and coming off the bench and just being a good teammate. So, we'll just see how it plays out when I get there.
Chris Denorfia talking about the trade to Seattle, and about 10 minutes after that trade was announced earlier today, he was in the dugout giving hugs to all of his teammates and the staff, even the Bat Boys, so this place certainly will be special to him. Other news of the day, Jason Lane has cleared waivers, so the 37-year-old pitcher with such a great story will head back to El Paso tomorrow, so nice to have him still within the Padres organization.
All right, that is part of the nice stories, good feeling stories since the All-Star break. Thank you, Chris. Well, the Padres now work to be done, trailing by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cabrera, Amarista, and Solarte against Shelby Miller. Miller's allowed only 3 hits, all extra base hits, a double and 2 home runs. That's been it. Up the middle, he knocks it down and throws out. Everett Cabrera. Cabrera's hit the ball hard all 3 times for outs. He's lined to second, a sharp ground ball to first, and that comebacker was on its way to center field.
Yeah, one hard one hopper to Shelby Miller, and you can see him gloving it and going to that bare hand, an athletic play by the right-hander. The reaction, coming out of his glove, and he bare hands it. Steps and throws to first base, but you said it, Dick. Everett Cabrera squaring balls up, and that consistency, that's going to be a big factor. He looks calm at the plate.
Meanwhile, Shelby Miller, with a reputation of a lot of walks, has been perfect. Not a walk today. Solo home runs to Jerko and Venable and a double to Rivera. That's been it. Left field. Holiday drifting back. 2 away. And time for our Cholula flamethrower. 96 miles an hour.
And that's hot sauce. You like hot sauce?
A little, just a little bit. I like spice, but not too much.
Medium.
Yeah, I think when I go, when I go shopping, and I love to go to the market, I go for the medium, not the, the nuclear, not that one.
So you're 92, 91, 92. You're not 96.
No. Slice to left field. Solarte. Borges runs it down. The Padres hit the ball hard twice in the inning. But it's 1, 2, 3, and we've completed 6, and the Cards are in front. St. Louis leading 6-2 here at Petco Park, and it's time now for the San Diego fans of the game.
Hi, guys.
That's the piano. I think he's practicing his piano lesson there.
Pianist. Is that how you say it?
Pianist is correct. I was corrected when I was the voice of the La Jolla Music Fest on the PBS recording. And I thought, I always called it pianist. So no, it's pianist.
Ooh.
Boyer stays in, top of the 7th. Matt Holliday, 2-run single in 3 trips. Holliday, Adams, and Peralta in the heart of the Cardinal lineup in the 7th. Well, the Braves come to town tomorrow night. Eric Stoltz gets the start for the Padres against Mike Minor. We saw Minor win his 4th game in Georgia earlier. 6:30 our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego tomorrow night, Friday night. The Wine Fest, 15 California wines to be sampled. Foul back. And then on Saturday, 5 o'clock our TV time, Ian Kennedy will try to square his season record at 9-9 against Irvin Santana, who was mighty tough against the Padres. He had great stuff, winning his 10th game in Georgia earlier in the week. And then on Sunday, if you want to see Tyson Ross, Sunday's the time. 12:30 our TV time, 1:10 as Ross goes against Aaron Harang, who is 9-6 with the Braves.
A nice story for the Atlanta Braves.
0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And don't forget Baseball Night in San Diego Saturday night. The handsome San Diego floppy hats given away. And then on Sunday, always exciting because it's Military Sunday, saluting the U.S. Army and U.S. Army National Guard on Sunday. So hope you're making your plans. See the Padres and the Braves this weekend.
I love the floppy hat.
Reaches out and sends a fly ball to center. Amarista in the right spot. 1 away. bring up Matt Adams, a single in 3 trips.
Anytime I can put a hat on my dome and hide my bad hair day. I have a lot of bad hair days.
No.
I do. Right there. That's what I need.
Well, you'll get a free floppy hat. We got to make sure that Mark Grant gets his.
There you go.
Ripped to right. Charging is Venable. Oh, that was a clothesline off the bat of Adams. 2 away. And as we promised you earlier, we have the AT&T fan photo for you. Tweet your photo to hashtag #SDFanPhoto. Chance to be shown in an upcoming game telecast brought to you by AT&T. Rochella Thomas. How you doing? Just in tribute to Mark.
Oh, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it any justice. I thought it, but I couldn't do it.
It just came out. You know, you're with a guy so much, you become one.
Yes.
2 outs. Peralta hit by a pitch the last time. Despaigne got him. Breaking ball in there.
And that fastball by Despaigne was probably on his mind when he saw that breaking ball right there. You see him freeze up with the breaking ball.
Jahani Peralta, as it is often mispronounced. 2-1. Well, Cardinals finished their road trip, 6 games in 7 days, and go home to play Milwaukee, and the Brewers in first place in the Central, so that'll be a battle for the top spot. High fly ball toward the right field foul line. Will Venable coasting under it, and right on the line makes the catch. Fair ball. 1-2-3. Boyer works the 7th on 3 fly ball outs at 6-2 St. Louis. Final game of this 3-game series. They got off to a 2-run start early on in the 2nd inning. A 2-run shot by 22-year-old Oscar Taveras in the 2nd inning. The Padres tied it in the bottom of the 2nd inning, however. They used the long ball. Jed Jerko the opposite way. 2nd home run in as many games, his 7th of the season. And 1 out later, Will Venable stepped up, and Venable found the Petco porch, an inviting target. And the Padres had even the count at 2-2. But in the 3rd, runners at 2nd and 3rd, Matt Holliday, he can deliver RBIs, 54 and 55 now with that single. It's 4-2 St. Louis. And then they add 2 more in the 6th inning. One scored on Borges's Infield hit, another on the bases loaded walk. So it's St. Louis 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Padres 2 runs, 3 hits, and no miscues. Good day to play on the beach. Youngsters here. Magic of a pail and a little sand shovel, and some silicone. Kevin Segrist is the new pitcher as Shelby Miller goes 6 innings. Allowed the 2 runs, 3 hits, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. The no walks being the surprise for Miller, who has been wild all season long. Seth Smith starts things here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Smith lined to left and took a 3rd strike. Foul back. Segrist is just 25, turned 25 last week, in fact. Ground ball right side. Wong makes the play, 1 away. That brings up Jed Jerko. Segrist came up last year from Memphis, his rookie season. Delivered 3-1 his record. And in 39 2/3 innings gave up only 2 earned runs. How about an 0.45 ERA?
Yeah, impressive arm out of the bullpen, especially with the left arm when you get that velocity.
But Jerko hits that one deep to left center field. Borges on the run to the path and makes the catch. Well, Jerko flirts with another home run, but just reaches midpoint on the warning track.
Well, an impressive play by Borges, and he has the old school flip downs. You can see him put it down on that stride to shield the sun. You can hear him making communication to Matt Holliday, the left fielder. That was brought over to really improve the defense in the outfield, and it's exactly what he's done since he's been acquired from the Angels.
Alonso has grounded to 3rd and grounded to 2nd. And he will not hit as Tommy Medica will bat for Alonso. Padres need runs. They're trailing 6-2 here in the home half of the 7th. Healthy cut by Medica, who's batting an even .250 coming in. 4 home runs. Two and 1. Cubs beat Colorado today 3-1. And 3-1 the count to Medica. Venable would be next. 2 outs, bases empty here in the 7th. Foul back over our heads.
Saturday, MLB on Fox Sports 1 returns with baseball's premier rivalry as the Yankees take on the Red Sox. Special coverage begins at noon Pacific only on Fox Sports 1. Then be sure to tune in to Fox Sports San Diego to catch your Padres take on the Braves starting at 5 Pacific.
That's right here on Fox Sports San Diego. It'll be Ian Kennedy against Urban Santana. Delicious pitching matchup. Popped up. Center of the diamond, not very high. They converge, and it's the second baseman Wong who makes the play. 1-2-3. Segrist takes care of the Padres in the 7th.
Cardinals leading this one in the top of the 8th inning. Mark Kotze, Mike Pomeranz working on Padres Live, the postgame show brought to you by Cox Communications. A little bit of a tough road to hoe right now. You got to look into that Cardinals bullpen.
Yeah, we do. And the key to the series early when this series started was not to see their closer. And unfortunately today, unless these bats rally, we're going to have to see a kid named Trevor Rosenthal. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah, big power arm. So hopefully, though, we get the Cardinals nervous enough to start going that direction. When we see in the postgame show, we'll tell you everything that happened in this ball game. We'll break down the details for you. You'll hear from the manager, Buddy Blackett. Hey, it is the trade deadline day, so we're going to go over all the details and transactions that occurred today. Our Fox Sports San Diego MLB insider, Scott Miller, going to be along for the post-game show as well. So we'll see you gentlemen after the final out.
All right, Mike. And, of course, with the multitude of trades today, you can almost go an hour and a half in that post-game show. So stay with us. I'll have all the details, all the game action, highlights, and the many, many trades made just before the deadline. Medica stays in the game at first base, and Nick Vincent is the new pitcher for the Padres here in the top of the 8th. Brzezinski fouls that one off to the right. Cardinal catcher has scored a couple of runs. Singled and scored in the 2nd, fly to left in the 4th, walked and scored in the 6th. Brzezinski, Taveras, and Borges in the 8th for St. Louis. High pop up. Shift was on. Jerko says take it. Here's that comparison. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game. Alexi Amarista challenging that wall and making an outstanding catch. Robbing Colton Wong. He took quite a collision with that wall. The little man won the battle. Taveras, 2-run homer his first time up. He's grounded out and lined into a double play since. Highly touted 22-year-old. And with the trade of Alan Craig, he's going to be the regular for a while until he either hits his way as a consistent starter or somebody else takes his place. But it looks like he's got the tools to have a long career with St. Louis. They certainly think so.
Well, before, Mike Matheny had to pick his spots to play this youngster because he's working his way into the lineup and trying to work on that consistency that everyone tries to work on. But now with that trade, like you said, Dick, he's going to get full playing time and maybe just a couple breathers here and there.
That one smothered. Vincent hops on it and throws him out. 2 away.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Borges steps in. This has been an interesting day in the history of baseball. July 31st in 1990. Nolan Ryan at age 43 won his 300th game. In 1954, Big Joe Adcock with the Milwaukee Braves hit 4 home runs and a double in a 9-inning game.
Wow.
18 total bases was the major league record at that time.
I'm going to pick the stick that day.
That's right. You could retire the trophy on one game. But get this one, how times have changed, and it involves the Cardinals. 1934, St. Louis beat Cincinnati 8-6 in an 18-inning game. Dizzy Dean was the winning pitcher. He worked the whole 18 games.
Wow.
18 innings. 18-inning complete game win for the Dizzy Dean.
And he never had Tommy John.
Amazing. Great story about Dean was he was trying to break up a double play at second base and went in without sliding, and the relay hit him right in the middle of the forehead. Oof. And the next day, the headlines in St. Louis said, X-rays of Dean's head show nothing. He was a marvelous character, early television, baseball, the game of the week, working with Buddy Blattner. Two outs, 8th inning. Borges, an RBI single through the whole left field last time. Count stays at 1-2. In that Adcock game with 9 innings of 4 home runs, the double hit the top of the wall, came back in play. How about that for a day at the ball yard?
That's a great day. That's a career for me.
One and two coming up from Nick Vincent. And it misses outside. Well, tomorrow night, the Atlanta Braves in town. They took 3 out of 4 from the Padres earlier in the week. Chance to make amends for San Diego. Eric Stoltz tomorrow night, 6:30 our TV time against Mike Minor. That ball hit well to center field. Amarista back, and he's got just enough room in front of the screen guarding the beach. A long out for Borges. 1-2-3. The Cardinals going in the 8th. Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, the power of together, and by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Up there on the cliffs, famed Torrey Pines Golf Course, the Pebble Beach of the South.
Beautiful area.
Pat Neshek, he was a Padre briefly back in 2011. Padres picked him up on waivers in spring training. He had been cut by the Minnesota Twins, and he just was so-so, 1-1 with a 4.01 ERA. But he's developed, whatever's happened here with the St. Louis Cardinals, an all-star pitcher.
Yeah, and you could see that Venable swing in that first at bat. You could see it doesn't look like he's trying to pull the ball, but you can see him pull his hands in and get the barrel to the baseball and keeping it fair.
Fouls that off third.
So many times we've seen these Padre hitters try to pull the ball. And what I mean about that is those front shoulder leaves a little bit early and you get around the baseball. But when you square up and you just throw your hands and pull your hands inside, you're pulling it correctly. And that's what Will Venable did on his first home run today.
One of only 3 hits for the Padres. Double by Rivero. Solo home runs by Venable and Jerko.
So many times, Dick, that when you get up there and you have an approach, you're looking out over the plate and then you react in. You say, why don't I do that all the time? You know, sometimes you get in that pull mode, which we all have done as hitters. But squaring your body up and trusting your hands, you hear all those phrases. That's what Will does.
Line drive on the fly, captured by Peralta for the first out.
And you see it right there. Will Venable last year hit the ball to left center, and the ball was pitched there and reacted in. We saw the numbers spike. That's a productive out right there, and I know Will Venable's frustrated because the average isn't there, but that is a solidly hit ball.
Rene Rivera on his 31st birthday has flied to right and doubled to left. Tim Stauffer apparently will be the pitcher in the top of the 9th inning for San Diego. Jeff Francoeur is in the on-deck circle. The pitcher spot due next. So how do you explain Pat Neshek at age 33 suddenly going from a good relief pitcher to being a top holder? He's got that submarine delivery. Certainly tough to pick up.
Yeah, if we look at the motion, and it's deception in that motion because it's not a typical motion. He almost jumps at you, which is awkward from the hitters, and it also has that timing aspect. The velocity's right around 90 miles an hour, fastball, slider, and changeup. He's been, like you said, Dick, excellent out of the St. Louis Cardinals bullpen.
So he takes the wind of it. Almost looks like he's a full-fledged submariner, but he's not. He's a side armor. It just looks as he prepares to deliver that he's going to come down off his shoe tops, but it really is a sidearm pitch. Misses there. And as you've talked about it to little leaguers, don't be looking at the face of the pitcher. Find out where that hand is when he releases the ball.
Picking up that release point, which is very odd. You can see the awkward swings from the Padres.
First strikeout for Neshek. Well, let's go back to the keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, hitting is contagious because 24 hits coming into this game today. Only 3 hits for the Padres today. Despaigne back on track. Didn't look locked in today. Only 3 strikeouts to 6 earned runs. I missed on the keys of the games, brought to you by the Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, the keys to the game are reliant on the Padres winning. Or being ahead. A high pop-up off the bat. Francoeur taken by the shortstop Peralta. Quick 1-2-3 inning worked by Neshek. On to the 9th. St. Louis leading 6-2. St. Louis Cardinals lead. The Padres have been retired in order 6 of the 8 innings tonight. Only 3 hits for them. 2 home runs, but they trail by 4 as Tim Stauffer comes in. Worked the top of the 9th inning. There are his numbers on the year.
You can see Tim doing a much better job against lefties. That changeup came into play, especially when he went from starter to reliever. I think he fits so well in that middle relief role as he can bridge that gap to the back end of the bullpen.
Don't forget, fans, to stay tuned for Padres Live. They'll have all the details of the trades today. The Padres with one deal, sending Chris Denorfia to Seattle for Abraham Almonte, an outfielder, switch hitter, and Stephen Colsheen, who's sent to El Paso. He's a relief pitcher. And the Cardinals making a deal. They require John Lackey from the Red Sox for Joe Kelly and Alan Craig. But there are many more deals bigger than that. And they'll have all the details on the postgame show.
Well, you go back to that Cardinal deal, and what's interesting with Lackey coming over to the Cardinals, he has in his contract a $500,000 option, and it's a team option.
So he's willing. Wait a minute. He's willing to play a whole year for $500,000.
$500,000, and that's odd because he signed a 5-year, $82.5 million deal with Boston.
What's he get too much money? He didn't want to get so much money.
Well, what happened on that physical? They said he was a candidate for that Tommy John. And here's the deal as we take a look at it for John Lackey, and you see the reason why Joe Kelly and Alan Craig are going to Boston. $500,000 for a pitcher of John Lackey's caliber is really important. And the Cardinals also received in good faith promise by Lackey that he will stay and play for that $500,000, which is a team option. That's pretty good news from the Cardinals standpoint.
Descalso, the pinch hitter for the Cardinals against Tim Stauffer. The count goes 2-1. So his banker already feels he's got plenty of money. He's willing to take that risk. Ground ball to the right side. Jerko has to range into right field, but he can't get there in time. Safe as Descalso on the infield hit. Tough play because the momentum of the ball hit through the hole was carrying Jerko farther and farther into right field, and the time he could spin and throw, Descalso had a base hit.
Yeah, the second hop really took Jed Jerko into deep right field, and he does everything he can, spinning and turning and trying to get enough on that throw. Descalso beats it up by hustling down the line.
Cardinals in double figures now with their 10th hit. Matt Carpenter, the only St. Louis hitter with more than one hit. Scattered throughout the. In fact, Johnny Peralta is the only Cardinal without a base knock today. Carpenter has an infield hit, scored a run, singled, walked with the bases loaded to drive in a run. Foul ball. I'm trying to think of what Lackey, his thinking that he may indeed have Tommy John, or he's just saying, hey, I think I can go on if I do well and just take $500,000 for my salary, then I'll renegotiate with you for a big number.
Yeah, and I think what happened, and when they went through those negotiations, understanding he got to $82.5 million. So I wasn't in the organizational meetings as we take to see the ground ball. 1-6-3,
a double play, and that's the first time Matt Carpenter has hit into a double play all year. 400 plus at bats, and that's the first time they've been able to double up on Carpenter. 1-6-3.
Well, you see Stauffer working down in the zone and fielding his position. Evan Cabrera on the run makes the transfer and the throw over to first base. Big double play.
99th time the Cardinals have grounded into a double play. That leads the National League. One of the reasons why their scoring has been down at the bottom of the National League. They've had chances, but that double play will kill a rally.
Well, just to finish that thought from the Boston perspective, they said, hey, if we're going to give you this big of a deal and you have a threat of having Tommy John, you got to give us something back in return in these negotiations. And that's the $500,000 deal, team option, that Lackey agreed upon when he signed that big contract.
Joe Kelly, the right-hander we saw last night, goes to Boston, as does Alan Craig, who has been an RBI machine the last couple of years for St. Louis, and 44 runs batted in this year, and yet you hear all the talk around the St. Louis camp is that it's been a disappointing season for Craig.
Well, if he comes back like anything last year, it's a pretty good deal for Boston. Talked about them getting Cespedes from the Oakland A's, and then Alan Craig, and you're adding some offense.
They've got some good young players in the system. It's been an off year, a disappointing year for Red Sox fans, but they're wasting no time in rebuilding.
John Mozeliak wheeling and dealing and knowing the importance of pitching and trying to win a championship.
Full count now to Colton Wong, the second baseman, has a double in 4 at bats, robbed of that hit out in deep center field with Amarista crashing into the wall back in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. And that's it for the Cardinals as Stauffer has his first strikeout to the bottom of the ninth. Padres need 4 to tie.
Is trailing at 6-2, and a quick update regarding Andrew Cashner's timetable. He will not be throwing a simulated game. Instead, Buddy Black and Darren Balsley talked it over. He will throw an extended bullpen on Saturday, and then will go with the team on the road, continue to work out with the team when they head to Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Then after that, they'll discuss whether and when and where he's going to go on a rehab assignment, guys.
Well, he does say that after the bullpen a couple days ago that he felt fine. No pain, was able to use all of his pitches, so hopefully he's close to taking them out in a game in the near future. Trevor Rosenthal, look at those eye-popping numbers. 32 saves, that's tied for the National League lead.
Eye-popping numbers with velocity, reaches up to triple digits. You see young man not in a save situation today with a 4-run lead, but he needs to work. This young man understands how to throw that fastball, very aggressive fastball, changeup, curveball.
.62 strikeouts in 48 innings for Rosenthal. Cabrera leads it off. He's hitting tough luck today. Cabrera hard all 3 times. Hard hit balls lined out, grounded out twice. All hit right on the nose. Nothing to show for it. 2-1. Rosenthal, just 24 years of age. Pretty good pick for the Cardinals. 21st round pick in 2009. 639th player selected. And they get this arm, Rosenthal. Somebody's doing a good scouting job.
This is a prized arm that will change your organization, especially the back end. The Padres know what it does when you get those last 3 outs. You gain a closer in Trevor Hoffman. He did it a lot. Buddy Black understands when you get a closer, it sets up every one of your relievers. Trevor Rosenthal is that for the Cardinals.
2-2. Up the middle. Wong right there near the bag. Throws out Cabrera, 1 away. The Padres got 2 runs in the second on solo homers. Jerko with 1 out and Venable with 2 away to tie the game at the time, 2-2. The only other hit, Rene Rivera's double in the 5th inning. And since then, 11 straight men retired. Amarista struck out twice and flied to left. .97 on that tailing fastball.
Let's take a look at that motion. It's almost like from that catcher's position you see that short arm slot, but the power and getting on top of that fastball. We haven't seen triple digits today, but with the intensity and the importance of the game, he can dial it up.
Ooh, 3-0. Padres not receiving a single base on balls today, even though that seemed to be in the works with Shelby Miller, second in the league in most walks. Didn't walk a man. Gave up the 3 hits, struck out 5. 3-1. Just laid in a simple little 97-mile-an-hour strike.
Get me over.
High fly ball, left field. Holiday calling. And that's the second out here in the 9th inning. 12 straight retired by Cardinal pitching. Jan Solarte has grounded out twice and lined to center. 8 RBIs in 8 games as a Padre coming in. That's the best start of any Padre in history. 4 for 5 last night with a line out. Ball 1. And the Padres down to their final strike. 1-2 on Solarte. We'll close out July. Padres are 12-12. They're hoping to have their first winning month of the season. Struck him out on a high fastball, and the Cardinals have salvaged the final game of this 3-game series as they beat San Diego today. The final score, St. Louis 6, the Padres 2. And with Padres Live, we go to Mike Pomerantz.
All righty, when we see you in a post-game show, we'll talk about what happened out there today. But it's trade deadline day, so all the news around baseball in a moment.